Hello, traders. This is Blake Morrow. You are listening to the Daily Roundup webinar. I hope everybody's having a great trading session and happy Tuesday to you. Happy day before New Year's Eve. Did that make sense? Close? All right. Anyway, hope everybody's having a great trading session. Let's talk a little bit about what's happening in the markets right now. So, if you just saw equities come off a little bit, they were already trading kind of heavy. We saw like the S&P came off. Take a look around, just so you can kind of get a good feeling of the equity markets today. S&P's come off from those all-time highs. NASDAQ is already trading a little heavier today. The Dow starting to slide a little bit. You take the Russell. Russell's been trading heavy all day, just trading near its lows. And then this most recent news that just came out about Mitch McConnell basically objects to Schumer's request that the Senate approves the $2,000 COVID direct payments. He's blocking the efforts of that vote to happen. That is actually weighing on the market, and everybody's expecting the stimulus bill to go through and $2,000 checks to possibly go through, and we're now seeing a little bit of risk aversion where the market might not get that. Well, the economy might not get the people may not get that money. And I don't know all the stipulations, but from what I understand, it was going to go out to pretty much everybody. Probably the last recipients that got stimulus checks type of deal, and it looks like it might not. And so the stock market is trading a little heavier as a result of this, and because of that, we're seeing the dollar firm up from these low levels. So you can see the dollar index is nearing, well, I don't want to say it's at the highs of the session, but it's starting to gain some traction here. And if you think about it, you got like the euro dollar that just hit basically the highs. Now this is a problem. Let's put this up here really quick. You can see that being a little bit of a problem with the euro. Let me put it out to a 4-hour, because we just hit those highs, and now, would it be, or could it be viewed as a false breakout? It's possible. It's possible. We've got all this wedge support coming up, probably about another 30 pips lower to see if the euro is going to hold today. The sterling, struggling to bounce. We might have actually had a little bit of a double top in the pound as well here. So you got to watch alongs at this point with the pound. Aussie just tried to trade above this resistance, and it's slumping a little bit. The Kiwi right up towards the recent 52-week highs. I thought we might be able to push to new highs. Obviously, if you use ForexAnalytix, you've got the update here on the Kiwi, where talked about it potentially hitting the 71.75 level. You can see this about an hour ago. We were talking about maybe it'll hit new highs in the reverse, but the hourly RSI was way overbought, and you can see that the RSI is working off the overbought signals now. But we might not hit new highs, which would make it a lower high. You got the dollar Canadian, which if you guys are paying close attention here to the patterns in play, there's a new pattern in play with the dollar Canadian that I put out for a 618 retracement. I think the risk is the dollar Canadian bounces from these levels, back up towards 129. Remember, we came out of this 161% extension down channel, held all this support here. You can see that. So I think the risk is that we could bounce. you know, and you're seeing in the dollar Mexican peso looks a little bit stronger here off of support. I just think that what we're seeing is the potential for some risk aversion moves. And so if that happens and stocks continue to go down, the dollar should continue to strengthen. So think about that as we're moving into the next 24 hours or so. Now, will the stimulus get passed? Will we, see, will we see, stocks rally to new highs? It's possible, but seems like it seems like Congress is having a hard time agreeing on exactly what they want to pass for stimulus. And so that could weigh on stocks here the next couple of days. Usually this time of year, we have a rally in equities, and it's the Santa Claus rally, and I think the market's pretty well prepared and positioned for that. So what happens if the opposite happens? Do we have some aggressive selling come in? Well, I think currencies are showing us that is a risk, especially with the lack of higher highs thus far in the Kiwi, the Aussie, lack of lower lows in the Canadian dollar, Mexican peso. They were not hitting lower lows. So, possible double top with the euro, quite possibly. So again, I think you got to be on your toes if you're trading currencies right now. But I think that is a possible development that we're seeing. Other than that, gold's not moving, silver's not moving. Oh, I did share this chart in the chat room if you weren't there. So take a look at the VIX. Huge support here. Now we had a hammer on a 4-hour chart that I was looking at. It was at the time. This is like a couple hours ago. But you can see volatility starting to pick up. That is volatility higher tends to be a product of risk aversion, and it seems like volatility is starting to rear its ugly head, and so that may result in higher dollar against some of these commodity currencies. Okay. All right. Jason says, hey, Blake, question on the pricing of the new year. If you are an existing subscriber, can you take advantage of the offer? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. So I forget what the pricing is going to be. Steve and Stelio is better equipped to answer that. But yeah, if you have let's say you're paying full price on a month-to-month basis, and you want to take advantage of it's not the monthly, it's the semi-annual and annual contracts. You can take advantage of it. Yes. So, and then we reimburse you, refund you the difference, or I forget how that all works, but yeah, you can. So, and I urge you all to take advantage of it. I'm sorry, I was just about ready to sneeze. Anyway, guys and gals, thank you guys so much for being here with me. I know it's, and we're trying to make some lemonade out of the lemon of a market that we have right now. That's this time of year typically, but I think there are some risks developing. And if you bought like for example, I'm just going to give you kind of my thought process here on the dollar Canadian. I'm long the dollar Canadian, right? Off the 618 retracement. Okay, I own it in the 90s, my average. What I'm hoping is going to happen is we're going to rally towards 128 and a quarter by the end of this session, and I can move my stops up to break even and try to let it ride for the next 24 hours. That's my hope and idea. I'm short a little bit of sterling here, in the 90s. I kind of want it to break down into the 70s, then I can move my stop to break even. Trying to get myself into those types of positions so I can just let the trade work. You know what I mean? In case we do get a little bit of bout of risk off. Amira asked for platinum. Amira, I don't trade it, and I know I tell you that all the time, and the only time I ever look at it is with you. So let's take a look at it. Well, it's holding up well. You know, I don't know if it's going to continue to hold up well. Obviously, we're up against a lot of resistance here, but that would make me feel good if I was long, that it's, you know, holding, and that move down here through, you know, some of the support held. Looks like it stopped out a lot of longs, so that's good. Would I be on the long side right now? I wouldn't want to be short. Maybe that helps, but I don't see any opportunities here. I don't, and that's the one thing that, you know, you have to. There's, you know, you have to be pretty clear when you see like a bias, and you can go, I'm bullish here or I'm bearish here. And if I can argue either, I could actually argue being short, and I can also argue being long platinum. Therefore, you know, I think there's other things to do in the markets. All right, guys. And Amira says I am in platinum from 1010. Oh, well, from down here. Well, that makes sense. You know what I would do if I were you? If I was in this position, let me just put it that way. I just move my stops up to break even. Take a little off, like maybe take a third or quarter off of your position. Move stops up to break even. This way, you captured some profit, no matter what, and then you know, stops at break even. You let it ride if you think it's going to really break out. Like I said, I could argue being short too. I could say, well, you know, we've struggled up here for the last several weeks, so you know, I'll take a short up here. At the same time, I could say, well, I want to be long because it looks like it took out all the stops lower and is rallying. So again, I could do either or here. All right, guys, have a great one. Thank you all for your support. Looking forward to the new year with all of you. So we'll see you tomorrow. I'll be around tomorrow.